Welcome to a Book of Boba Fett trailer collab with Derpy Boy, and today we'll be going over all our bullet points, everything that we found in the Book of Boba Fett trailer, and we have a special announcement at the end, so make sure to stay tuned for the end. So the first thing I saw was the Bomar monk, you know, the spider droid.
Yeah.
That had the...
Yeah.
So, like, the bottom... So, you know, like, the bottom, it was filled with, like, ooze, or, like...
It was filled with orange liquid type thing?
That's actually, like, a brain. It's actually a brain, which is surprising. And it was in Return of the Jedi 2 in the background, which was super cool that they bring it back, or they brought it back. And I was, like, when I first watched it, like... I just thought of the Bib Fortuna story, that he turned into a Bomar monk, that his brain was transferred into the Bomar monk, and so that is that's just cool that they brought back the spider droid thing.
Yeah, I also found like Boba Fett, like I think he built like his palace around the monks. Like he didn't want to like do anything to them. He just like built his palace around them and. You know, they're just roaming free, I think, is what's happening there.
Yeah, because in The Mandalorian Season 2, at the ending scene was super surprising that there were only like half a dozen, like there were only like 6 other like mercenaries or like people like in there with Bib Fortuna. And it was interesting. It was like an abandoned palace, like compared to Return of the Jedi, and then like what Mandalorian's like 6 years after Return of the Jedi, pretty sure, yeah. And so
I think so too.
It's crazy to compare them to like the fact that there's like, oh, it's filled, and then there's no one. And I think Boba is gonna like rebuild it so that it's gonna be similar to what Jabba had, and I think that's one of the reasons the Bomar monks have left, maybe, is because there's just no one there. I honestly have no idea, but that might be one of the reasons. And the line, he says, I am no longer a bounty hunter, or whatever.
Yeah.
He says that, and then some voice says, I've heard otherwise. I've memorized the trailer. But, so he says, I've heard otherwise, and then Boba, and then, the rest of the trailer. So once he says, I've heard otherwise, I think that's going to be with a lot of people. And we can also see that on Tatooine, where, like, all the townspeople were looking at Boba Fett and Fennec, and they were like, oh, he's a bounty hunter, and he's probably going to have to settle, like, a lot of debts with a lot of people, and, like, tell everyone that, hey, I'm not a bounty hunter anymore.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do that a lot in this season, where he's just gonna try to prove to people that he's not a bounty hunter anymore. Basically just saying what like you were saying on how a lot of people are still gonna think, obviously, that he's a bounty hunter. So he's gonna like try a lot to prove that, hey, I'm not that anymore, and like he's evolving or changing into like a different person or something. I think that's what he's gonna do this season.
Yeah. So the Ithorian. So I'm pretty sure that voice was the. So Boba and Fennec, they were like walking to some sort of palace, and I'm pretty sure that's where the Ithorian is. And so the guy who says, I've heard otherwise, I'm pretty sure that's the Ithorian, and I may make like a video or something on it, but it's basically, I think he's like some sort of like governor or like king maybe of Tatooine town or Tatooine city, and he could like, so with Mandalorian season 1, we didn't see Moff Gideon the entire season until like the end of episode 7, I'm pretty sure it was. And so I think that what's gonna happen is that he's he's not going to be a threat in the beginning, and he could turn it into like a bigger threat.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So I also want to go back to like the Bomar monks because we opened up the trailer with that.
Yeah.
There's something like I think the Bomar monks, like obviously Boba Fett, we saw him he was in the Return of the Jedi. I think it was that movie where they were fighting, where him and Luke Skywalker they got into a fight over like the pit. I forgot what like that pit was called, but they were fighting over it, and Boba Fett actually fell. So I was wondering how he survived, and he didn't look that scarred when he had his helmet off. So I was thinking maybe the Bomar monks taught him how to heal, or helped heal him from that moment.
Yeah, that's actually super interesting that you brought that up, cause you could definitely tell that. I was gonna bring that up, but then I don't even see it in my notes, so I probably forgot about that, but. Yeah, it's crazy that he's healing, and I think what we're gonna get in Book of Boba is some some Return of the Jedi flashbacks, and so we may even see there's this new comic series called War of the Bounty Hunters, and it basically goes over the events in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and it shows how Boba got Han Solo and Carbonite to Jabba's palace, and I think we might see some live-action clips of that, and I think we're gonna also see some flashbacks of how Boba Fett exactly survived, and that's a really good theory, though, that Boba could be healing from Bomar monks, but it's really interesting to see that he never healed over the 5 years or so, and now all of a sudden he's healing. So it could also be something to do with Grogu, that Grogu could be healing him, or Grogu healed him during Mandalorian Season 2 because Boba helped save him. Really anything is possible now in Star Wars. And it's also crazy that Boba, he's changing, Jabba the Hutt's, council. No, not the Hutt Council, but Jabba's syndicate, Jabba's crime syndicate, and that he's just changing it to something that was way different from Jabba's, that he's not going to rule with fear but with respect. He's going to change things from violence to businessmen, and he's definitely going to be changing a lot around with Jabba's syndicate.
Yeah, I got that too, because yeah, I also got that how he's gonna not rule how Jabba used to rule, but change the way of how the people were ruled in the past. He's gonna rule with respect. He's gonna build a relation. He's probably gonna build a connection between. Well, not a big connection, but he's gonna try to make friends with them and stuff, so that they can respect him and then he can respect them.
Yeah, and the syndicate that was, or the council kind of that was at Jabba's palace that had a meeting with Boba Fett in Jabba's palace, I think that could possibly connect with the Shadow Collective that Maul created, and so they brought back Bo-Katan, and they revealed a lot about why Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren and every other Mandalorian takes off their helmet and Din Djarin and possibly Boba Fett doesn't, and I think the Shadow Collective the Shadow Collective does have something to do with that, with Maul's reign in the Clone Wars and with Mandalore, and I think it could possibly connect with Crimson Dawn from Solo. I've made a bunch of theories on that, and I think we could get something with this. However, in the comics, in these new comics, they're probably gonna answer those questions about what happened to Kira and Maul with the Crimson Dawn. But it's just a possibility that we could possibly see some sort of connection with Crimson Dawn and the Shadow Collective, because some of the guys in that kind of group really looked like they were a part of the Shadow Collective, and I think they might as well could have, or they could have switched to Jabba's syndicate.
Yeah, and I'm just so excited on how this series may turn out and like what it can show us and like answer some of the questions that we have. And I just feel like this is going to be an amazing series, and like the projects that Star Wars are making, like for the future, are going to be super cool too. So I just can't wait for this series to come out.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I think Book of Boba Fett. So Mandalorian is a full-on series. Like they started it as a TV show, but the same thing with Marvel is they're basically making all these shows like WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, like Loki, Hawkeye. They made those shows to not be like a stated like TV show. Like they're just 6 episodes. But Boba Fett's gonna be 8 episodes, I'm pretty sure, or 10. 8 episodes. And so with all the Marvel shows, those shows are just created to continue to continue the character stories. They aren't necessarily like TV shows that are gonna be like people's favorite TV shows. Those shows aren't like solid TV shows. They're just to continue the character story. And Mandalorian started off it is a full-on TV show, and it's one of my favorite TV shows. But Book of Boba Fett, I think, is also going to be an awesome TV show, but I think it will also just be to continue Boba's story. But I think it's also going to be an amazing TV show, and I'm not sure if they're going to do a season 2 or not.
It says that like the Book of Boba Fett is going to be at least 8 episodes is like an expectation for it, but it could go all the way to like 12 episodes. So
yeah, I that's a huge possibility. I think with like Star Wars, Marvel's reoccurring theme is like 6 episodes. Like not WandaVision, but Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, they're all 6 episodes. And I think Book of Boba is just gonna probably stick with 8 episodes, but I think there's definitely a possibility of going to like 10, 12. I mean, if they want to like continue Boba Fett's story like a lot, or they could make room for season 2. It just really depends. And I also saw a really cool detail that I forgot to mention in my breakdown, that at the end when it says the Disney Plus logo, it basically, the Disney Plus logo, it had the Slave One's engine sound, which I don't know, I found that really cool at the end.
Yeah, and for me, I already touched up on all my points, so like if you have any other ones, you could bring them up, but I basically said all that I've got.
Yeah, those were all my points too. Those were all my points, and beginning with Bomar Monk and ending with the Slave One's engine, that was I can't wait that we're gonna also have Book of Boba Tuesdays, which is gonna be super exciting. Every other episode is gonna be switching between you and Marvel Theory. It's gonna be super fun. Do you think we're gonna do that with like Kenobi and like the Ahsoka show? Maybe.
We could. It's like those shows are gonna like be releasing obviously in the future. So we might be like busy because like we do like because I might be busy then. I don't know. It's like uncertain. But if like it goes right and like I'm free, then I'm definitely up to doing it. Because like the Mando Mondays have been fun. These Boba Fett Tuesdays are gonna be fun. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, I'm in if you guys are in. That's kind of my thing. Like, I don't want to take up your guys' time to do something that you guys don't really want to do, but I'm completely fine doing with me if I'm open as well. But I'm fine with doing it if you guys want to do it. I think we're gonna do it for Book of Boba, for sure. But yeah, there's possibility for like Kenobi and the future Star Wars shows, not necessarily like all of them, but like a few of them. So that's the collab on the Book of Boba trailer with Derpy Boy. Subscribe to him. His link will be in the description below. And yeah, stay tuned for the Book of Boba Tuesdays.